This car is extremely special. Yeah, it's full, we say in Germany. Means it's fully equipped, almost with every cross on the price list. And I don't know exactly what kind of car it is, but I have a specialist here. He is from the American military sales, from the Euler Group. You are selling cars in the name of BMW.
Yes, for 21 years actually now. My name is Matthias, by the way, and I'm selling BMW military sales since 21 years.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you for the name, but you introduced yourself. This is very kind, and you have a whole bunch of salesmen here, and you are responsible here for the whole region of Kaiserslautern.
Yes, for Euler Group military sales. So we have locations here in Kaiserslautern, Sprengdahlem, Baumholder, Hofheim, close by Wiesbaden, and in Landstuhl.
This is a special car. We produced today a lot of videos, and you don't want it to get in front of the camera, but you said this car I'm in love with. You know this car by heart. It's a 2021?
It's a 2021 BMW X6 M50i.
Again.
BMW X6 M50i.
M50i means pure power.
Pure power, it's a V8 with 526 horsepower.
V8, 526 horsepower. Is this kind of motor available for use in Germany for Germans?
Yes, it's available on the German market as well.
A V8 over 500 horsepower?
Yes.
Okay. It's not electric driven, it's pure carbon.
Pure V8, pure power.
No fake means no sound processor inside the car needed for producing motor sounds or something like this. No real exhaust pipe sounds.
This is real sound out of a big motor.
Come with me. We make a little walk around, starting with the brakes. Brakes from BMW. Those brakes are red, but they are the original brakes from BMW.
Correct. Yeah. This is one of the options you can select out of the price list to have red brake calipers.
Aha. And you told me this car is fully equipped.
This car is fully equipped with everything I could click on the ordering guide.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you order such kind of cars? But there is a real demand here in Kaiserslautern for those kind of cars.
We do have a market for it because, I mean, obviously an American coming to Germany has the pleasure of a German Autobahn, and then why not do it with such a beautiful car?
So this is a car, normally in America you need to go on a racetrack, but here I know on the Autobahn people very often drive 180 kilometers per hour, meaning 120 miles per hour without getting a ticket, because we don't have restrictions on many parts of the Autobahn.
Correct. So there is a lot of areas that we have, even here in Kaiserslautern close by, where there's unlimited speed, and then enjoying it with such a car is definitely a nice thing to have.
I've never read, because we have a news channel also that we provide, I've never read many things about being rude on the streets by Americans. So that they are very, they know the rules, because there is also police looking after them.
Yes, they are more cautious and careful drivers all around. They are not initially really used to the speed, so they pick up speed slowly and integrate into Germany.
Yeah, there is a special track here which is free between Kaiserslautern and I think it's the road to Ludwigshafen. There is a three-lane stretch,
which is open speed, and it's all straight, up and downhill a little bit. Definitely a nice stretch to take a car like this out on.
So the look from the rear. Please give me some room that I can film it here, and stay with me, because this look Ain't it sweet?
It is very unique. It's also a unique color called Manhattan Green.
It's green.
Yes. Has a little bit of a grayish to it, I think.
And the reason why we are here, because this car is coming right out the detailer, because they cleaned it a little bit up for the video. You have tested this car.
Yes.
For the next customer. It's already sold?
It's a pre-sold unit, and the customer will have the pleasure of driving it now for a day, because he has already seen the car, but he didn't have an option to drive it yet, and so he's picking it up to drive it around for a few days.
Yeah, we are talking about sales to a special range of people. Your place is not or the cars from your place are not available for normal people, I would call them so. They are only for military personnel and DoD contractors, you told me. Yeah. Means we are talking again about prices. Those prices are only for those sort of people, correct?
Correct. So we sell cars under the military program to active duty military members, to DoD civilians, and also contractors.
Okay, means when we are talking about prices, and you would wonder about what is possible to military personnel, BMW is really making good offers for them, because they are coming over here, they're here for 3 years, they don't need to pay the VAT here in Germany. Right. If they bring them over, if they have to pay the VAT, or does it depends on time they need to keep the car?
Yeah, so when they come over here, they are buying the car at a factory direct price. They are paying no taxes over here, and paying taxes in the States later on is pending their situation. How long have they been here? When are they going back? Which state are they going to? Are they active duty? Are they a civilian? So there's various regulations.
So if I'm serving here now for 3 years, I'm in the military and I'm going back, how does the car comes to the US again?
Most of our customers ship the car with the military back to the States, and then pending their state, they will pay no tax, a used car tax, or a regular sales tax.
Okay. Laser light.
Laser light, yes.
It's a BMW laser light today, because it's a long time ago I produced the last video for BMW, but laser light, there's a real laser in it, a laser light?
It's for aiming. And the light bulbs itself are LEDs.
LEDs means if someone, I've heard about light, you can always be on high beam, and it detects automatically cars?
Yeah, it detects traffic in front of you and will then go from high beam to low beam automatically.
Oh, it has bird view?
Yeah, yeah.
And it has the latest technology in LiDAR and radar systems, means safety pure.
Yeah, this is with an active radar system, active cruise control, so it has a radar to hold distance to the car in front of you if you apply your cruise control.
Okay. You're working for big companies. You have very, very many outlets here in Germany for Germans too, for Europeans and for Americans. You're not only in Kaiserslautern for the Americans.
Yeah, for the Americans we are located here in Kaiserslautern, in Landstuhl, in Baumholder, in Spangdahlem, and now also in Hofheim, which is just 10 minutes away from Wiesbaden.
Test driving, is this possible?
Absolutely, we have pretty much the whole fleet of BMWs available for a test drive.
Okay, we start with the back, because this is kind of car is made for everyone, for a sports fan, for a family member, for a football mom with several kids. It's really unique. It's very versatile.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique version. Not only this being a V8 in it, it's also a great SUV. It's the typical SUV sitting position, but with a coupe design, so a sportier look of an SUV.
And you don't see the 500 horsepowers. This is very understatement. If you just remove those little X6, and then I think that the fans know what's behind this.
Yeah, anybody that is familiar with BMW will know if it says M50i, it's a big motor and a lot of power.
Okay, so this is electric driven, this back.
Yeah, the tailgate is with a foot operation, so kick my bumper and it will open.
And it's working.
And it's working, yes.
I filmed so many times when they try to do this and it doesn't work. Even they say, okay, right now the camera is filming, and because of the camera it's not working, but
it's Murphy's Law, they say, when you want to show something and it doesn't work. But if you know how to operate it, it will work.
Okay, it's simple. Show me again.
It's very simple. It's so basically all I do is the middle, and then it closes now in the same way it opens. A lot of videos show it with a swivel. I can't make it work like that. I always make it work like this.
You kick.
It works for me, yes.
Okay, like a football, a little bit of soccer.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty good. So this is the Kofferraum. What's called in English?
The trunk. Okay. Trunk area. So we have a spare tire underneath here because this car is actually equipped with a 22-inch wheel, even though right now I have it on 21s with winter tires. But we ordered it from the factory with a 22-inch wheel, and therefore you have a spare tire in it, a donut.
I show something special. There is a lifter that keeps this open.
Convenience is everything. So if you ever need to get to the spare tire, at least the cover part here is with a lift, and it will remain open for you, so you have an easy access.
Very comfortable. This is adapter for American plates, and every car from you comes with this adapter.
Yes, exactly. So we have the rear and the front license plate holder for later on for our customer when they return to the US.
You told me they make a big bargain sometimes if they're buying cars here because it's allowed. It's supported by the manufacturers, by the government, by everyone, that you can buy a car here for special prices and that you can bring them over. Do you need to keep them for 10 years or something? Is there a restriction, or for how many months do you need to keep those cars you buy here?
The minimum required time is actually 4 months. 4 months.
4 months?
Yes, 4 months that a customer would have to own the car before they could sell it. And the reason behind it is because BMW supports the military here with a factory direct pricing, a lowered price, and therefore we don't want to make a business out of it for the customers that they buy a car every month. So it's a 4-month holding time.
But it could be that a car doesn't suit, he wants to have another car, so sometimes this happens too.
Yes, of course, if there's a valid reason on a customer saying, hey, I just bought a car and it's too small, or it's too big, or it's too expensive, it's whatever, then of course there is ways of...
you'll find a solution.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see also other brands that come into these cars.
Of course, in the used car side we get trades of anything, from small to big, from a gas hawk from the US, some vehicle that doesn't really suit size-wise over here, where people then realize once they have moved here, our roads, our parking, everything is a little bit smaller, and they decide to trade their big car and get something else.
And big here means that you have American sizes like trucks that are driven here, and you really get in trouble. Like Globus, it's a big supermarket here. Parking lots are a lot narrower, and you cannot compare this to America. Yeah,
absolutely. So people realize pretty quickly once they move into the cities with a big car that some of them are just too big.
Okay, to fold back the rear seat bench, how is this possible?
Relatively easy. You pull here and it folds down.
Cool. And it works.
Same on the other side, and it works, yes, correctly.
Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, the colors, the leather, sometimes you order vehicles, and you know the demands of the Americans. You know the colors, you know what they want, but you are also, it is also possible to order cars exactly built for me. Is this possible?
Yes, absolutely. So we have obviously quite a load of cars in stock, but we also have the option to custom order for whatever the customer wants.
Okay, let's talk about die Katze aus dem Sack lassen, we call in German. Prices. This car has MSRP.
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 So what you're looking at here is about $100,000 car.
In Germany, cost this car again about?
Oh my God, I would think we're looking at easy 140,000 euro for a car like this.
Tax included?
Side. Yeah, tax included.
Or, again, if someone sees this German and he looks at it, this offer is not available for any personnel except American military who are here in Germany, and there's DoD contractors, correct?
Correct. So it's DoD contractors, active duty military, DoD personnel in general, and it's an exclusive military program.
Okay. This car is built where?
The car is actually built in the US, in South Carolina, where we have the biggest production plant for BMW, and there we build X3, X4, X5, X6 and X7. And believe it or not, we built the US models there, as well as the European models. So
in America?
Everything, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So, before we open up the front Motorhaube trunk, no?
God, now I'm missing the word myself.
It doesn't matter.
Hood.
The hood, you're only selling for 22 years, so sometimes you can miss some words. But let's talk about prices. What is the price for this car? An American, for brand new car, pays for this car?
So the way this is set up, we're looking at $100,000 car.
Okay, $100,000 cars means a rebate. If you combine both, the VAT you don't need to pay, and the rebate you get on it, and the American price, it doesn't come off the German price, it comes off the American price.
Yes, so the savings for our military personnel is 10% throughout the range, and then occasionally we have an additional model with a special price on top of the military savings. Like an example right now, I think you did that earlier in the video, 330 BMW or BMW X5, where we have an additional promotion.
The 330 with the X version with four-wheel drive for 39,900 with pretty good equipped. I have to ask several times if there is no how do you call this, there is no trick that you need to pay something around. No, it is like this.
Out the door pricing.
Okay. Yeah. Means a car here in Germany for $60,000 euros for 39,900. So okay, very good. Yeah, let's start. This was outside. We talked about a little bit, and then we make a little break. Part 2, the motor, the sound, and everything, and then we make a test drive. Hold on. The BMW X6
M50i.
Hello, Matthias.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, but I'm so astonished about a lot of things I see the first time, because I didn't do any BMW videos for the last several years. For instance, it's possible to illuminate the kidney grille.
Correct. So this vehicle is fitted with an illuminated kidney grille. So while you have your lights on, the grille is lit up too.
And they told me from the last videos that there's a motor inside it that closes this grille. For instance, it's going to measure the temperature outside, and if it's too cold, to heat up the motor more quickly, it can close it. Is this true?
Yeah, nowadays everything is a little bit geared towards fuel efficiency, even on a big motor. So the air vents on the front are closed if the car doesn't need any cooling. Yeah, once it needs cooling, then the vents open.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, the light you see here, the DNA of the car is easy to define. It's a BMW with the kidney, and it's so that there are fans from BMW, and there are the other ones who don't like it. But for whom is BMW? Is this the more sportive person?
Yeah, I would say out of the German manufacturers, when you're particularly looking at that, BMW is definitely in the sporty segment.
Cool. Also the spoiler, it looks like it's especially made for racing purposes, but it comes with a spoiler, every model?
This one is actually with a M package, so the M50 already has an M Sports package, so it's a little bit sportier looking front and rear design of the car.
And you told me something special. This car is coated with something special that prevents scratches or anything else, and it's fully coated with a high glossy special foil.
Yes, we have here a Suntec protection foil on the vehicle, where we have a layer of a foil on the paint to prevent actually rock chips and little stains and that you can easily get on a car paint.
Means after 5, 6, 7 years you have the same astonishing look without any damages. Can you say it like this? Okay, bigger rocks, no way. But normally you see here the color going away, stains here and everything. This is prevented by this foil.
Yeah, definitely. When you are driving on the German Autobahn and you're driving a little bit faster, you have the typical rock chips on a car on the front end, and here the foil prevents those rock chips.
And it's all over the car, in the back and on the sides?
Now on this vehicle we did the whole front end, meaning the front bumper, the hood, the fenders, the A-pillar, which is, if you let me move over, is the stretch up here. Yeah, and you can see here where the foil ends, and it's also going over to protect this part of the car that could also get hit by a rock chip.
Pretty cool. So you need to know it, otherwise you don't see it.
Yeah. You need to take a close look. Oh, and by the way, the mirror caps we have covered with the foil too.
You don't see it if you wouldn't have mentioned it.
Yeah, it's professionally done. We have a company we work with to get this job accomplished for our customers. And it's definitely on a car like this, kind of protecting your investment that you are doing with a car like this.
Yeah, they do this very often because such things doesn't look good, and it really protects. We are talking about what price for this work? About $2,000?
What we have done here on this vehicle is about 1,600 euro.
Okay. So about $2,000.
Yeah, not quite, but close to.
Okay. Really cool. Yeah, you have mixed tires here on this car?
Yes, even for the winter time, we went with a 21-inch wheel here and a staggered tire. So it's a 275 on the front end, and we have a 315 on the back.
For winter.
For winter, yes.
But there is even a bigger tire. There's a 22?
Yes. Right now I've fitted this car due to road conditions here in Germany. Right now the car is on winter tires. The summer tires or summer wheels for this car are actually 22-inch.
So you can use this car all over the year in any condition. You can say this, the four-wheel.
In any condition, absolutely. This car is not only fitted with winter tires, it's obviously also an all-wheel drive car, BMW's xDrive, which is a smart, intelligent all-wheel drive system.
Okay, so you're working very long for BMW. If you see this car now with this motor, we're gonna take a closer look on the motor, and you look back 10 years ago. it's not comparable. There's everything is different.
Yeah, I mean, obviously BMW had V8s in the past too, but the overall technology development of this vehicle is just amazing. All the technology you get here.
This special kind of color, and combined with the interior seats, it's real leather. I think it's brown. I saw before.
Yes, it's a brown leather interior, and it's actually Napa leather with comfort seat, massaging seat, ventilated seat, anything you can imagine.
And it's already pre-sold, this car.
And this vehicle is pre-sold, yes.
Again, there is a massage set. Okay, this special kind of leather is extremely soft.
Yeah, it's a very comfortable seat, even though you still have the sport contour that you can see on the bolster here on the side and the leg extension piece. And you also have a width adjustment of the seat, so I can make the seat tighter and wider depending on how you are comfortable.
Is this easy to handle?
Absolutely, because it all comes with a memory system. So you basically only have to do your job one time, find the perfect sitting for you, and then program it.
Okay, also the dashboard is covered by leather.
Yes, the dashboard is covered by leather. The upper part of the doors here over here is also covered with leather. The headliner in the vehicle on the inside is in suede. So you have all the luxury here that you can imagine.
Okay, there is a reason it's dark outside. We are filming on the 40th January 2021. Yeah, let's take a look. You can control everything here, but there's something special. You have a sound system included here that's really extraordinary.
Yes, I mean, BMW is known for their Harman Kardon sound system, which would be the standard one in a vehicle like this. And here the customer selected an upgrade to it in form of the Bowers & Wilkins audio.
Pretty cool. So, okay, but in the back, you told me that the seats in the back are even as comfortable as in the front. Means, yeah, if you could, because you can also go to IKEA shopping. There's no problem with this kind of car, but look at these seats.
Yeah, even the back seats are really nicely contoured, very comfortable, with a proper angle for the backrest, with heating in the back seats as well, with ventilation and air controls down on the center console.
Okay, if you could please go to the other side and enter the car, then I go in, and then we show some special things. The width of the car, you have a lot of space here. If you have two kids who don't like each other too much, then they can also divide them by an armrest.
Yes, correct. So not only we have a decent space here between two passengers in the back, if it's two kids and they argue too much, just fold down the armrest and keep them separated a little bit. If they travel, you have cup holders in the back as well. You have a little bit of a storage area in here. Of course, you can also fold down the middle piece. If you are going on a ski trip, you have 4 people, you put your skis through the middle and 4 people in the cabin.
But you can also put the skis on the roof. There's a roof mount.
Yes. There's a possibility of putting them on top of the car, obviously, as well. But I guess a lot of people, and the way skis are, modern skis nowadays, they perfectly fit into the cabin.
This car suits now for 5 people, but I think there's a 4-people version. Is this correct?
Of this one is only available as a 5-seater.
Okay, with a bench here in the back. And there, when we look at this, it is possible to control the temperature also on the back for everyone.
Yeah, which may be not to the satisfaction of the driver, but the kids in the back could actually control their temperature separately for left and right, and then also have heated seats on both sides.
I can imagine that this car is also driven by people who have a company, that have a driver that can work here in the back, that can relax a little bit. But this car is now for military personnel and DoD contractors and everyone. But it has so much comfort. You can travel for several hours, and you arrive probably more relaxed than you started.
Yeah, especially since in the front seats you also have a massaging seat. So if I were a company owner and buy a car like that, I'd make damn sure that I'm driving it myself.
Look at this. Here you have a lot of possibilities to read here in the back, yeah, and don't bothering anyone.
Yes, so you have light controls here in the back, and by the way, the headliner here is not the typical headliner, it's actually in suede, so it's a very soft, nice material.
Means when you are talking here, it's very the sound is very extremely dry. Yeah. Means that the sound system can work here extremely good inside,
yeah,
isn't it?
And when you see talking about the sound system again, you even have overhead speakers in the back and also in the front, and then of course speakers here in the doors, up here. Yeah, it's a professional sound system in the car.
Again, in the doors you have speakers as big my subwoofer is in my VW bus. It's really cool, but meaning that also sounds like Atmos, Dolby Atmos and something like this can be reproduced while looking in the back, maybe a movie.
Yeah, actually, if you are stationary, you would be possibly playing the movie in here as well, yeah, and using the sound system.
Yeah, if the sun is shining through the window and my 3-year-old is starting to cry, then there's
yes, we have that too, which are side shades on the side here in the back seats.
Okay.
And besides that, below the shade, it's actually also tinted glass in the back.
This is also extra. You can define the amount of tinting.
The factory tinting is a certain percentage and is for our US vehicles that we are selling. Any of the X models, so X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, X6, X7, all of them come with a tinted glass in the back. We call it privacy glass.
Privacy, so you cannot look inside without being with your eyes directly on the glass.
Yeah.
So okay, that's pretty cool. So another feature is that you have a mounting system that comes with the car, or is it an extra?
Yeah. So what we have here standard is actually a system where you can get various adapters. Like an example, you could get for the kids sitting in the back seats an iPad holder. Yeah, so you click it in, you have your iPad here, you can turn it, you can angle it, you can put it down depending on, are you playing a game or are you watching a movie?
So means no third part things that doesn't fit exactly. It's made for this kind of car.
Yeah, it's a very easy click-in system. So you have a base, a universal holder, and then various attachments. If you use the car for business purposes, you can also get a coat hanger or a bag hanger. There's really a lot of attachments that you can get for this.
Yeah, another thing that's really cool, there is, like in the airplanes, a real space where you can put in something and it really feels and looks like you are on a private plane.
Yeah, so for magazines, for anything, or again for the kids to have something to do while you go on a road trip, you have this additional storage area.
Yeah, if you are here in the back and you want to have cold drinks, but I didn't invent something to cool up cans or something, no.
Tell you the truth, this vehicle has cooled and also warmed cup holders.
No.
Yes.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm being serious. This vehicle has anything you can click on the menu, yeah, and we have cooled and warming cup holders.
Okay, before we go to the front, we have to switch off the light, my filming light, and then we cannot see something, but we produced many videos, and then we wanted to show the ceiling, and this ceiling is so cool that you cannot describe it by filming it. You have to see it.
Yeah, you actually can see it over here a little bit. Once we're outside and driving, it's probably easier to see. So you have LEDs in the sunroof, and the color of the LED changes with the color of the dash. So I have quite a few selection of colors that I can have on the dash, and then it adopts to the sunroof.
And it's everywhere. Means this ambient mood light that really let you feel it changes so much. You cannot imagine these little stripes there to really enter the car and feeling home, isn't it?
Yeah, it's it lets you select to whatever your color taste is, and maybe to match a little bit with the interior leather as well. And you have quite a few selections there. Yeah, it's along the doors, it's along the dash, it's on the sunroof. So yeah, brings a special atmosphere to the inside of the car.
Okay, let's get out and then we talk a little bit about the passion you have here for your job. Because as we spoke together for introducing filming here, I asked you what kind of cars do you have here, and then I saw you smiling through the telephone and you said we have the most adorable cars from BMW ever. It's not comparable to any dealer here in Germany, where you sell also cars entry level, but here the best motors, the best interior. So BMW is really serving for the army. Can you say this?
Yes, so we're really geared towards the military and towards our customers and the taste. And so we have the whole fleet, basically. You start for the US market with a 2 Series, which is the entry level, and then we go all the way up X7, 7 Series, M cars. So anything you can imagine, we have available.
Cool. Yeah, please open the hood. And then we look at a motor that is also available in Europe, but which is really demanded by Americans, because the V8, I'm looking at you, yes, V8?
Yes. So this is a V8, it's a turbocharged engine, and it's an M performance car.
M performance, I show that to you. And you see the cylinders, they are shown by these little design elements here on the front of this plastic. You cannot tell it plastic on this special part that is on the top, and you don't see too much of the engine. It's a little bit hidden, no?
Yes, yeah. So obviously everything is covered up for noise, for quicker warming up of the engine, and another reason or another development BMW did here is it's a V8, so it's a V-shaped motor, and the turbos are actually sitting in the V.
Again, show me.
So it's a V-shaped engine, a V8, and the turbos are sitting in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
reason for this is obviously if you have the turbo there, it warms up quicker, it spins quicker, it's easier for cooling and everything. So it's a perfect scenario of having the position there.
Since several years, I'm showing a special detail. It's the R1234YF cooling fluid that's inside, which is much less a problem for the environment.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
And I think BMW, because they are producing not only for California purposes, but they're producing for the whole market. You have to pay, I think, in Germany, if you are over a certain range of CO2 emission, and then you have to produce motors that don't consume too much, that are highly powered, that are so special engineered that it's really a kind of art that we are looking at.
Yes, absolutely. So this is a dream motor you will hear once we start it. It's very quiet from the motor itself, unless you go into the backside of the car and you hear the exhaust system. It's very, very nice development. Also inside, I think there was a joke with the old Jacks with the V12. They had two tanks on each side for gas, and there was a man who told me, if you hear the motor, it's broken. yeah, okay.
Is this very smooth, the motor?
The motor is very smooth, very quiet. Even though you can select on the inside even the engine sound from a regular to a little bit sportier engine sound.
How is this made?
That is, of course, artificial sound.
Okay, artificial sound, but it doesn't bother the people from outside, but it makes you feel a smile in your face when you want to hear the motor. This is very common in Germany because motors are getting smaller and smaller. This isn't for European measuring, this isn't a small motor here in Germany.
This would be a very big motor for Germany, and I guess for the US it's also kind of big nowadays.
Okay, but yeah, we're looking at, please close it. A little detail here, also gas holden here by how do you call this? Gas.
Oh, the shock that is holding up the hood, yes.
So this is very easy, you put it on and ready. Do you need to do something here inside as a driver? Is there something you can do? Except fill up?
You could fill up windshield wiper fluid and maybe one day fill up oil. And if you had to jump start somebody, you have positive here and you have grounding actually over here. But besides that, everything else you check inside on the car. Like your oil level is measured on the iDrive system inside of the vehicle. You just hit a button and you see how your oil is.
Okay, so we're gonna see this inside. This is the kind of plates we are using here in Germany, and the European plates, but you told me that you are gluing those plates on the front because there are some states in the US that don't need to have a front plate, and then you don't want to have any holes in there.
Yes, correct. So this license plate here on the front is on with a double-sided tape.
It's very strong.
And we do that in order to not drill any holes where the customer could possibly not have a front license plate in the US later on.
Because here in Europe, everyone has a front plate, and in some states I saw this too. Bird view is included, of course, because
it has really a good selection on camera systems. You have front end cameras, you have the bird's view, so where you see the car on top of you. Then you have cameras in the side mirrors, and you have also a camera on the back side of the car.
Okay, pretty cool. So we are ready on the outside.
Let's start on the outside. Let's go inside.
Let's go inside, and then I just show you the privacy look. It's so dark you cannot look into. It's amazing. And I'm just putting back the seat a little bit from it for me. Let's buckle up, but I think driving on the Autobahn as fast as you can is a thing you're making maybe sometimes, but then you get used to it, huh?
You know, this car is luxury and sport both hand in hand. So are you always on the left lane going 200 kilometers an hour? No, you are not. You're also going to enjoy the car at 130 kilometers an hour and just easy rolling. Sometimes when you have power like this, you don't always use it. You know you have it, but you don't have to use it all the time.
And you told me that BMW is not jumping on any innovation coming on the market. They're first testing it, looking if it's working correct, if the user can use it. So maybe it can take a little while. You see it sometimes, new innovation by someone else, but when it's coming, it's working. Can you say this?
Yeah, that's exactly BMW's most important thing, that they are not stepping forward with any new features, anything like that, until they have tested for a year, 2, 3, 4, sometimes even longer, to bring new features into the market.
Yeah, this car, I've heard in the news that in Europe the number of people dying in car accidents is reduced by big amounts since 10 years, because the car's getting safer and safer. Is this one of the safest cars you can buy for money?
Absolutely, especially with the technology that we have in here, with lane departure warning, with blind spot detection, with lane keeping, with active cruise control and a radar system, with emergency braking, with front collision warning, and there's so many to name. And tell you the truth, I think you can't be safer in a vehicle.
You see there is a special button with the green circle on it, and this button is not a normal button. It is for safety reasons. You can see every safety feature in the car.
Yeah, so the button there, once it is green, it's showing me all my safety features are actually active and turned on, and then I could turn certain features off if I wanted to.
For instance, the active lane holder means if you are leaving the lane, then it directly goes and corrects that you're not bumping into someone else. But you can say I don't want it, because for any reasons, because you don't blink when you're leaving lanes or something.
Yeah, obviously there are certain features where the customer or the driver of the vehicle could actually say, hey, I don't want the car to interfere with my driving too much, and then you can turn certain features like a lane departure warning with or without steering intervention, or a blind spot detection with or without steering intervention. So those features you can turn off and on depending on how you like it.
Yeah, let's look on the buttons and knobs you still have on a BMW. I think this is very important, that not everything is totally digital with sub-menus and menus and controls. For almost everything you have still a knob or button. Is this, I think people like it, huh? For instance, stations, you can program directly with a button, yeah. like you know this from 20 years.
Yeah, so you have those buttons in here that are typically known from the past for radio stations. However, I can program various things on here. I could have number one, my wife's phone number. No. Number two,
it's not only for radio stations.
It's not only for radio stations. So basically, what I save on the button is what I do on the screen. So if I select, in example, let's go communication, and let's say I have a phone number on here. Out of my contacts, I would take a person and I could store a phone number onto the button.
I want to show it right now, but I understand if I press this button, it dials speed dialer function. Yes,
exactly. Yeah, or even if I'm on the navigation system and I'm right now on the scale for the map, yeah. Now I could actually select something. Let's say I want to be on a 500-meter scale. Yeah. That's what I'm on right now. Now I'm changing it to a different, yeah. Now I can hit the button and we go back to where we came from. Hello. Here we go.
It's working.
didn't push it hard enough.
Okay, so now there is meters. I know in the States meters still don't exist, maybe in the future, but you can change everything.
Yes, so the Idrive system here allows me to set up the car to my needs, and when I go on car and I go on settings and I go on general settings, then one of the things that I can change is the units. And here I could go from distance to kilometers to miles.
Cool, that's very easy. So if someone drives here, because we are now here on kilometers, but he likes miles or something else, I think the same thing is here with the speed meter, so you can change this too with a...
Yeah, so we have it on the speedometer as well, where you can see the kilometers, not only on here. Once the car is running, the head-up display is active, and then I can see my current speed as well as speed limits in the area I can see in the head-up display.
Something else. I don't know if you ordered this, but you told me you made a cross on every option available. Your your co-worker, salesman, you are the sales boss here, circled with his hand to control the volume. Is this possible here too?
Yeah. So once we, we have to select media, which we do. So I can.
Okay, and pull it down because of this video will be blocked because of the music. No, what did you do?
So again, gesture control is in this car, and I can select on what I want with my gesture, with my hand gesture, and the pointing is mute, is what I selected.
Well, where is the trick? You are holding something there. This is the remote.
The camera is actually up here, and it sees my hand move.
Also, when you're circling, the volume gets up, down. Okay, again. And then it's showing what you're doing.
Yes. So yeah, it's pretty much bulletproof. Plus, in all honesty, you can talk with the car too. Yeah. Like an example, hello BMW.
Good evening. It's good to see you. What can I help you with?
Turn on heated seats, passenger.
Please prepare the vehicle to be ready to drive.
Okay, for this feature now I would have to turn on the car, but it allows me to, tell the car to turn on the heated seats.
Also here, speakers in the front, but very well integrated. And then, maybe we can look at mood lights while driving. So then we can do this, but we have to show first something else. I've seen before, there is a button, but this is not a normal button. You have a company working for you upgrading this button by gems. Is this true?
If you're talking about this here, this is of course the start of pleasure on this car, which is the engine start system. And another special feature here is that we have a crystal gear knob, crystal startup button, crystal iDrive controller. So yeah, it's everything in here is top notch.
Okay. Is this preheated, the motor, a little bit? Because it was very warm as we opened it.
From being moved in here and from the detailing. So yeah, we can actually go to a sport mode on the vehicle, and then I don't know how much we're gonna hear it in here now, but
no, I go outside and I film this because the sound of the exhaust V8 is okay. And there is a special feature because you have restrictions here in Germany that while standing the noise isn't allowed to be too high. So it adapts while driving, it could be higher.
Under load, the exhaust note is definitely a little bit louder, at least if I go into Sport and Sport Plus mode.
But if you are driving in front of the kindergarten or maybe a home for elder people, you don't like your flap exhaust being open, then you can just touch a button and then it is silent again.
You can actually either go to a different driving mode, Comfort or Eco, and then your car will be quieter, which I would do definitely if I'm driving around in the city. I'd have it on quiet, and once I'm out countryside or flying on the Autobahn, I could have the exhaust a little bit peppier.
Peppier. Displays. What is this for a button? Tell me.
The display here is, when you're looking here, first of all, the head-up display, which is right in front of me, in front of the driver.
Okay, can you see it from your?
From my position, yes. From the passenger position, not.
If you look into the monitor of the camera, can you see it?
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I think it's much brighter when we go outside and it's dark.
Yeah.
And then you can see it very good. Also, when it's very bright outside, it gets brighter. So it's automatically adapted, of course.
You can also adjust on here the brightness, the height, rotation.
Everything.
Yeah. And what it displays, actually. Yeah.
Ah, you can mirror the display to see how it looks like.
Yeah.
Amazing. This is head-up displays are known now for several years, but as you made a cross on every feature for this car, I think it's not very fine from you. If you make a setup with a car like this and you get another car, then you will miss a lot of things if you don't order it again.
Of course. I mean, somebody selecting a car like this, it's very hard to go back to something else, obviously. Yeah, and you do miss
the massage seats, the active cooling from the seats, the head-up display. There is something else. I think there's a little camera inside the driver display, which controls yourself, isn't it? If you are still alive.
It actually checks a little bit on me, on how I position myself, where my eyes are, am I focused, or is it possibly time to get to the next parking lot and get out of the vehicle or just have a coffee.
So it's looking at you a little bit to prevent damages. So we are talking about cars that are delivered in the United States, built in the United States, and everybody knows if you don't do your job right, you get sued by a very hard law system, and you can tell if this car wouldn't function right, then you will become big trouble. And is it working, this car?
It is working, and it's working surprisingly good with all the technology, all the safety features, the active cruise control, lane departure, lane holding, and all that stuff is really working well.
Okay, also this display can be configured as you want?
Yeah, on the display here you can see car information. You can even see your entertainment like we do see right on the top right corner there. Driving mode, parking position right now, fuel economy.
And it can park automatically, and not only to right parking slots, it can do everything almost.
Yes. So here is the camera system for the vehicle, where we now have the rear camera and the top view camera. And then we can also go to a car wash feature.
I have to say something, because there are little interferences on my camera picture, but in reality it's totally clear, it's stable, you don't see any interferences, because I'm filming in 4K and something like this, it's a little flimmering. But in real life it's so real. In real time also.
Yes, absolutely clear. You can see if I were to drive into a car wash, as I turn the steering wheel, the lanes turn.
Oh, you see, when you're driving into, you're ruining your rims all the time, and then you can see where you're driving.
Yeah, you can make sure that you are fitted right for driving into a car wash or even into your garage. You could use this feature too.
Means when you're wrecking those rims, no smart repair is possible. Then we're talking about a huge amount of money you would pay, and then you can prevent easy the most damages you get by those kinds of cars. I see.
You all know the magic door dings. Yeah, so when you get out of the car, hitting the car next to you, and if you look at the picture here, it actually shows you that I can open all my doors safely without hitting anything.
Really?
Yes.
So someone thought about some things, huh?
Yep. And then we have 3D view as well. And here I can now, if you go back a little bit with the camera, I can actually do a gesture move again. I think the camera is still in the way. See now? Now I can move all around the car.
And see obstacles, anything?
See anything around me.
Mm. And it's working. So normally those kind of systems, in the past people didn't use, for instance, the voice control because it doesn't work pretty good. Yeah. But you have to say English is the worldwide mostly spoken language beneath Chinese and some other languages. But in English, if you make commands, it's understanding you.
Yes, the car really works well with the commands, and it allows me to talk to it, and it allows me to control things in the vehicle. Let's say I'm on the Autobahn and I'm a little bit at higher speed. I have both hands on the steering wheel. So what do? You use voice commands.
Mm. Cool. So another feature is the active massage seat.
Yeah, so we have that for driver and passenger. Yeah, for me, maybe easier to show on the other side. If not, my button for the massaging seat is here.
Is it here to the?
Yes. So it's over there for you, and it's here on my side. And then
I can come with you again.
Yeah, so it's the button here. It's a 3-level. Mm-hmm. And actually what it also does, if we turn the park distance control off, it allows me, when I'm turning it on, to select on what I want massaged.
Again, this is possible.
Yeah. So I have it right now on a whole body massage. Yeah. So it's moving every panel on the seat for blood flow. Yeah. So on the screen there, you can see what I'm selecting. Either only lumbar or shoulder massage or a full back massage. Whole body activation. Yeah, so there's quite a few selections that I do have. Plus I have 3 levels, so 1, 2, 3, depending on how strong you want your massage to be.
I really have to test this, because normally this massage seats I know from BMW and Mercedes, they had it already, but not with these features. Make a choice where it is, and then it is when you are driving a long time, and then you feel that your bottom is starting to feel not so good anymore. Then you make a little massage, and it's nice. Did you try it?
It is very nice for long distance driving. You get out of the car after 3-4 hours of driving, and you get out and you're really not in pain.
Not a gadget that you cannot use, but a gadget that you also miss when you don't have it anymore. And I think it's really hard to invent this, because we are in a car, everything has to work always. You cannot say, okay, it's working and then it's bothering you, it's producing accidents or something like this. It has to work. And all the time. So engineers have to test this, and not half an hour. They're testing this forever. if it's working, if the buttons are working, when you press 3 buttons together and something like this. There are test teams out to develop this.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind when before a car like this is introduced to public and it's openly on the road for everybody to buy, there is several years of development behind it.
Software updates. So something, a lot of things are improved while the time, and the cars get into this service station. You make software updates, or are those software updates possible over the air already?
They are possible over the air. Unfortunately for our customers, while they are in Germany and as it is a US spec car, one of the features, which is the SOS button and BMW Connect, is not working while they are in Germany. So it would work for them later on in the States. For the time being in Germany, a software update would be at the dealer, and later on in the States they would do software updates over the air.
Okay, means it's for American frequencies, the XM radio is American, the everything is American, so you have some things that doesn't work perfectly in Europe.
Correct.
But if you are coming back, then you have your original American car where we can use every feature that is available in America.
Correct.
Cool. I like it. Yeah, calling fuel consumption. I think we should drive a little. So I'm just buckling up, and then I want to see the car. The laser light. This is so. I'm just turning down the light a little bit, that you're not bothered by it. So you don't have a hand gesture to open the gate?
No, unfortunately, our workshop is not set up with gesture control, so I really have to pull on a string to open up the gate.
So right now we are in Kaiserslautern, in K-Town, most Americans call it. I think a place that is more known than K-Town is Ramstein, which is 10 minutes away from here.
Yes, Ramstein Air Base is about 10 minutes away from here. I think the Kaiserslautern area for Americans is a well-known area called K-Town, or the surrounding area. We Germans, we call it Little America. So we do have a lot of friends and a lot of families and military members that are stationed in our area.
And it's totally different from the rest of Germany. It's Little America. Right now, the seat belts were tightened.
Yes, so once we get moving, the seat belt tightens up and pulls you a little bit into the seat for safety purposes.
It takes a little time to learn everything by heart, but the 10-second rule, when someone enters the car, makes his first drive, is every feature on its place? You are looking for it? For instance, the blinker and everything else?
Yeah, turn signals and such are definitely in the same position that where they are on every car. And besides that, normal controls, you have a lot on the steering wheel. You have volume control, you have radio stations, you have entertainment, the menu, you have voice command on here too. But for the voice command, in all honesty, I'm not using the button anymore. I'm actually talking to the car. And then over here on this side is very cool features. So I have active cruise control, or cruise control in general, with a radar system holding me at a distance, and it also picks up the lanes on the road and will keep me in the lane.
Okay, means this is a maybe in 10 years cars are driving by its own, but it's doing a lot of things to support me when I'm distracted. Maybe a kid is yelling at me, or something is happening in the back, or I've heard that it could be that someone is reading text messages while driving. This is not allowed, but maybe you're distracted. Your car helps you to prevent any problems.
Yeah, for me, I would think I'm 52 years old, so I've been driving my whole life for a very long time, and so I'm a very engaged driver, so I like driving. Okay. However, it is features that are definitely helping me to avoid a possible accident that I could have because I'm not paying attention enough. Yeah, or I'm a little bit tired, or I drive by a beautiful scenery and I'm looking around and yeah, I'm missing a car, or I'm missing an animal, or whatever it may be.
So it can help people live on the street who are accidentally not looking at cars crossing streets, so it's braking by its own if it detects people on the street?
Yes, so it has city collision mitigation and pedestrian avoidance. So those safety features are definitely, if they can't avoid the accident, they can at least smaller the damage. Would you say it like this? Yeah. Or in all honesty, if I want to say it in this way, it could make the difference between an injury for a person or a death for a person.
So it brakes automatically. It brakes really hard if you are pressing the brakes quick and strong. Then it brakes totally. And I think the xDrive is a different feeling too. In any condition, even when it's dry or wet or something like this, it detects the street, the quality of the road, and it's changing everything when it detects something like snow or mud or a wet street or a high how do you call this when you're driving into the curb and you have a high speed, and then you need probably your jetzt habe ich das Fahrwerk, wenn das tiefer geht automatisch, something like this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so there's not really a suspension adjustment to it, but the all-wheel drive system from BMW is basically what it does. It uses the ABS system, the braking system of the car, to stabilize the vehicle in all conditions. So it's all-wheel drive system along with stability control called DSC, Dynamic Stability Control, and it allows the vehicle to feel slippage on one tire and possibly move power or even apply brakes to keep the car stable. Yeah. So right now I'm driving with active cruise control, and as you can see, I could take my hands off the steering wheel. Yeah, now it's flashing, which means I have to touch, and I can let go again, and the car takes over. Yeah, so it always gives me a little distance, touch, let go, and the car takes over. Now, typically for me, I'm not driving like this. I would have my hands on the steering wheel, but I do get the support from the vehicle to avoid a possible mistake that I as a driver could make.
Cool. Now you're red because my light is turning on red. I have to to put it back again. Just hold on a sec.
Now what is cool as well, we have a speed area here with a speed limit of 70, and if I hit the button here, it will allow me to follow the speed limits. Yeah, so the car is slowing down now.
Oh, it reads the signs?
Down to 70, yes. So the camera system up here will read the speed that is allowed. Yeah, and if I hit the set button here on the steering wheel, I will go to that speed.
So this can save a lot of money.
Exactly, yeah. We have in Germany quite a few speed cameras, so if you use the feature, you're definitely on the safe side.
It automatically detects the allowed... No, I cannot believe this, because this is something I was looking for my whole life. So you're driving, you cannot drive too fast. Are there problems detecting signs sometimes that it doesn't read signs correctly, or does this works pretty good?
It works perfect. I mean, the minute you pass the sign, the camera will pick up and read the sign, and if it's using the GPS system too. So if you are in an area where the car knows or the GPS knows what the allowed speed is, you get the message already ahead and you can select, and then by the time you reach the sign, you will actually be right at the allowed speed. So now we are passing the 70 and we are going to 100 speed limit. So if I hit set, you can hear it now, you can feel it now. The car accelerates and it's going to exactly 100 kilometers an hour, and we will keep it right there.
Is it possible to have an offset?
Of course, I can override. I can be, yeah.
No, means that it's always 10 kilometers too fast?
I can do 10 kilometers more too, but the car, if you follow the car system, it will be right on the spot.
Because in Germany you have to pay fees up from 5 kilometers more. And then, yeah. But this is very exact, so normally it shows the speed a little bit less than it is, but this is very exact.
Oh yeah, yeah. So every speedometer, no matter which car it is, always shows you a tad more on the speed than the actual speed of the car, and that's just to be on the safe side and avoid unnecessary tickets.
Again, if you are distracted right now, and this is a very curvy street, which are in America too, narrow and curvy, this exists also, it helps you steering.
Absolutely.
Also so, here.
Actually, this car is also fitted with the dynamic handling package, which has, in addition to a proper suspension for the vehicle, it also has a active steering, so it's front and rear steering.
Maybe you can show me something here on the screen that I've never seen before. Maybe not yet, but... Okay, you have an iDrive?
Yeah, so I have the iDrive controller, but of course I don't necessarily have to use the controller. I can also select on here, yeah?
Okay.
So I can use touchscreen or I can use the iDrive controller. I can actually, what I personally like a lot is, let me just find this real quick, is the engine sound.
The engine sound?
Yeah, so this is something I typically have on Sport because I like to hear my motor.
And then it's artificial inside, but it looks really real?
Yeah, it feels very real to me. And even though it uses the speaker system, it is a very nice sound.
I think this is very interesting when you have young kids
yeah.
and turning it on, so you can adjust the level, how much it works.
Yeah, you have either the normal sound of the car or you have a sporty version. Yeah.
Cool.
What is also very nice, and we were looking at that earlier, is the interior ambient light.
Okay, these orange stripes, for instance, right now?
Yes, so I can change the color if I want to.
First, I have to put off my lights. Then it's more immersed. Oh no! Look at this. Now, in real life, it's much more intense than you can see it here on the camera. I have to look here, but it looks really cool. A neat feature.
Yeah. So typically with a brownish interior on this vehicle, I would be more on a orange or a bronze for the interior, but for show purposes we have blue, we have green, we have lilac. Yeah, so there's quite a few options.
And it's everywhere. Also on the top,
in
the back
area, in the back, on the dashboard, on the doors.
Also a feature when you don't have it anymore, you're gonna miss it.
Yes, yeah, this definitely gives some atmosphere to the inside of the vehicle. You can have it dimmed for night driving if it distracts you, but I have everything on full blast, and I must say that after a little bit of driving, it's not distracting at all. It's just giving you a nice atmosphere on the inside of the car.
So that it is not too black in the car, that you can keep your attention to the rest. It helps you to also see things in the car better.
Yes, if you are looking for buttons, obviously you can have a little bit better orientation on the inside of the car with those lights on. However, for me it's really just the atmosphere. It's like, you know, when you're watching TV at home, you naturally don't have all the lights in the room off. You have some lights on, which are, again, just for the overall atmosphere.
Yeah, I know what you mean. This feature that you put a lamp on the back of the TV to have a little ambient light, that your eyes are not so stressed and everything. So the massage, how does it feel? Can I turn it on my side?
Yes, absolutely. So you have a button over there on the door next to the set.
Okay, and there it is.
You push that.
I push it. Oh yeah.
Now it's on level 3, and you will see shortly where the massaging will start and the seat's gonna move.
Oh, it's lifting parts of my body so that the blood can flow better through.
So it's basically like a push massage, where it's supposed to keep the blood flow, and so your legs don't go numb, and you have a perfect relaxed driving.
I think you're really living this kind of job.
Oh my God.
selling cars to people who are in a really good mood, who are smiling when they're coming in. Is it always like this, or is it mostly?
Yes, I mean, our customers are buying the cars at a super price, super deal, and when you then can take a vehicle like this for a test drive, and for me right now, getting the joy of driving a car like this with you and show you a few features, this is definitely a great pleasure.
BMW, the V8, how many liters has the motor?
This is a 4-liter engine.
A 4-liter, which is for German habits a really big motor for a BMW.
Yeah, this engine in here is 2 typical German engines. Could you say it like that?
Yeah.
So our typical engine is a 2-liter 4-cylinder, and this is a 4-liter V8.
Okay. Do you have something that you can show me some data about the motor here on the middle screen, like temperature or?
Yes, what I can show you in regards to the car itself would be the vehicle status, where I can see tire pressure.
Tire pressure, wireless.
Yes, so you have a TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system, in the wheels, which shows me then if I'm low on pressure, and actually also which tire could be low on pressure. Then we have engine oil level, shows me okay right now. If I sit and idle, I can actually have a diagram which shows me the actual level of oil. Then control messages, if I get any warning or so, and then also service requirements. Yeah, it shows me when the car was taken into service.
Exactly, brake fluid, everything.
Yeah. And the service history is nowadays also on the computer. It's not like back in the day where you had a service booklet where the dealer would put a stamp in. Everything is electronically inside of your car.
So you or someone else have driven 1,649 kilometers on this car, and the fuel consumption here, can you tell me something about it? Is it possible to drive this car with 10 liters or over 100 kilometers or less?
You can definitely drive it with 10 liters on 100. However, if you have a motor like this, you're not going to necessarily drive it with 10 liters on 100. You want a little bit more joy and a little bit more pedal to the metal occasionally. And then, of course, your fuel economy is slightly different.
But it's not the way when you press it hard on the Autobahn, it doubles or triples?
No, not quite, no.
Okay, this changes a lot.
Yeah. Just one thing that I'd like to show you now. See, I'm sitting with my cruise control at 80 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
And since I'm taking an exit, it had slowed me down immediately. And now, if the lights that we are approaching would be green and I could keep on moving,
it sees the light.
It would lower the speed because the system knows that I'm turning here, sharp turn, and it would lower the speed already.
Okay, means it knows the map, sees the curbs,
yes,
knows how to...
it uses the camera, it uses the maps, so it's really precautious and would lower my speed if I'm turning.
Cool. But many of those things are in the background. You don't see them. You feel it when you're driving to a curb and it lowers the speed automatically. But there is no blinking light. There is no. It's working without any big notice.
Yeah, you see in the head-up display, you basically, right now you don't because there is no turn really. But if I'm turning, it would show me in the head-up display that I've selected the turn feature, and it will adjust the speed for me to safely go around that turn. And after the turn, we go back to the presetted speed.
So it really functions.
Yes,
also here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And an interesting feature is it's not only working in the States, it also has to work, for instance, in Europe, in Australia, in everywhere. So it has to know every sign, every different kind of speed sign, everything all over the world. A lot of work, huh?
Yeah, typically in Germany our speed signs, or generally the street signs, are round. In the US they are square shape. So depending on which software of mapping I have for the navigation system on the car knows which country it is in and will then pull up the proper map.
So when I'm returning to the States, you get a software update there?
Yes, before or once I am in the States, I would delete the European maps that I have on here right now. Yeah, I would take those off and put US maps on the car, and simultaneously to changing the maps, it also changes the recognition of the speed sign on the car from a round sign to a square shape.
So you help also the personnel, the military personnel for shipping. I think when you have never shipped a car, you need to know how to do this, or how does this work?
Yes, of course, we also help. That's one key thing for our business. We don't only sell the car, we also service the vehicle, and we help people with shipping back to the States, with doing the conversion back to US mapping and such.
Cool. So this is your headquarter?
Yes.
For US military sales? And
we are back at the dealership, and I hope you did enjoy our short test drive.
Yeah, I did. It wasn't short, but a lot of things are to be explained. Oh, you can show me just automatic. Please do this. I know your time is expensive.
The parking, you
the parking,
mean?
Yeah. Because it goes automatic, you told me.
Yes. So let's turn around here, and then we'll show you how the car can park if you wanted to.
But not even on streets, also in supermarket, parking lots, everywhere.
Yeah, so it does parallel as well as perpendicular parking. Yeah. So what I got to do is I have to select the automatic parking feature, which is activated.
Okay.
And then, oops, let's put that back on. So it's activated, and then I have to set my turn signal on where I want to park. And now you can see it has found a parking, which is on here. So I'm selecting
it shows it on the screen.
Yeah, so I have selected it. I have my turn signal on, and now watch this. I'm going hands-free. I'm not touching a brake, I'm not touching a gas pedal, I do nothing. It selects the gear from going backwards or forward.
It's also turning back and forth.
Yes.
You're not on the gas.
I'm not doing anything.
Because normally you have to operate the gas pedal. No.
No,
you're
nothing. Nothing.
You swear this?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. And now it tells me I'm done parking. Cool, isn't it? And another feature that you have, watch this. So let's say hypothetically I'm moving around on a parking lot or in a indoor parking, and I move and I realize that I'm now in a dead end.
Yeah.
And we all know how difficult it is to maneuver a car backwards. Yeah. So what I do have is I have a backup assistant. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I put the car in reverse. Backup assistant is active. And now as I go back, you see the steering wheel turns on its own. And I'm moving back exactly on how I moved forward.
Oh, it remembers what you did?
Yes. It remembers the last 30 meters of your driving, and it shows you here also the distance.
This is a test car. You show me something that's not available for real life. No.
It is one of our demo vehicles, obviously. A test car, yes, it is.
No, but it's not from the factory, not available for normal people. It
is available for anybody to buy that wants those features.
Please drive back. No, this is not popular, but this works.
Yeah, sure. So I move around, I move onto a parking lot. Or let's do it like this. This is going to be funny for you. Now I'm driving like a drunk man. So I'm going over, and I'm going here, and I'm going there, and I'm going here. Yeah, so I've a lot of movements on the steering wheel. Yeah. Now I hit backup assistant, put my car in reverse. Here I do control the brake and the gas, but the steering is on its own. Yeah, and now I can drive backwards like a drunk man.
So you're selling these cars in America means if they're not working, you get in trouble.
And they are working. As you can tell, it works perfectly fine.
This is so creepy. This is...
See, and we have almost reached our departure.
And now it's over.
Yes.
Yeah. 30 meters.
Yeah.
This is a real help.
This can be a real help, absolutely. If you are in a tight area and you need to maneuver the car backwards. I mean, driving in is easy, yeah? But driving back, sometimes not. And this car does everything for you.
Matthias, I think for a car salesman selling cars to a special kind of personnel who are allowed to buy BMWs without tax with special rebates up to 20%, as we saw this 330X for
330i xDrive, yes.
For $39,900.
Yep.
New one, not pre-owned by anyone, directly from the factory.
Correct.
This is a nice job, huh? Oh, someone's calling?
Yes.
I don't want to show the number.
The customer that is
and the picture was shown. That's
picking up this car right now.
Okay, cool. So I don't want to bother you anymore. Thank you for your time. We're going outside. Just have a last look on the outside of the car, please.
Absolutely.
And then we tell the people just where we are and what's the name of the company. It's called Euler Group. I just show your mask a little bit. This is the Euler Group. It's one of the biggest companies for BMW in Germany, one of these.
Yes, absolutely. So we are within the top 10 of BMW dealers in Germany. And we have a special program for the military at various locations throughout Germany. And yeah, it's a factory direct sale.
And you do this job for 22 years?
21 years.
21 years. You have the same age as I have. You 52, are 52. Yes. You are born in 68?
Yes.
Okay, that's the best Jahrgang. Was heißt das? The best.
Yeah, it's a year of birth.
Year of birth.
Best year of birth.
And English is your second language. And it's very interesting, you are speaking English with a real German accent, and I think people like to hear this because it reflects a little bit. If I see the videos from BMW, they're also talking like you. Yep. And yep. I like this because you really feel Bavarian when I hear you talking.
Yes, exactly. So that is one of the things that for our sales team, the majority of them have a German accent.
Okay, cool. And you are situated here in Kaiserslautern and in?
We have locations here, Kaiserslautern, Landstuhl, Baumholder, Spangdahlem and Hofheim. And Hofheim is close to Wiesbaden.
And for the Germans, a lot more in Frankfurt than anyone else. But these locations were for the Americans and DoD contractors.
Yeah, DoD contractors, DoD civilians and active duty military in Germany.
Okay, and I'm driving back with the car that's not available in the States, VW bus that cannot be built as a camping version. And I'm from German television. Thank you so much from the Euler Group, Matthias. And you are a real person. You're not an actor. You're doing this your whole life. Yep. You love this brand, huh?
Absolutely. I'm hard in on a BMW.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.